Yeah. Tough loss, guys. We were right in the hunt, right in the hunt right there. Just, got outplayed both ends of the floor last 5 minutes of that game.
What were some of the factors in that last 5, 6 minutes?
I'm gonna have to evaluate just minutes played, and these guys are giving me everything they have from a effort standpoint tonight, and flying around trying to get deflections, steals, making things difficult for Stanford through most of the game, and then I felt like we hit a wall, and we just we couldn't. They got a few offensive rebounds on misses, and then they really punished us in the lane late in the game. We just with Angel and Renard, and so I mean, credit to them. They closed the game out. Their defense bothered us, their zone with their size, and there weren't a lot of seams, and we did not move very well. We were pretty stagnant, and we didn't create any advantages against their defense late in the game, and so it was really both ends of the floor, and they did a better job than we did.
They ran zone in the first half too, but you didn't have that many issues in the first half. Was it any different in the zone look in the second half?
Same style of defense. We want to hit the ball in the high post. I think that was our only thing that was successful was getting the ball to Jose some, and and him working against the middle of the defense. But you can't rely strictly on that. But it's everything. We second chance points. We got buried in that category, so that was bad, and. We didn't make our free throws the way we needed to perfectly, because there was not a lot of margin for error down the stretch in that game.
When you start hot from deep, how do you avoid falling into the tendency of wanting to keep chucking?
Well, I mean, yeah, all right. In transition, okay. In transition, we want to attack the paint. When you have these big guys that go like 6'1", 6'6", 6'7", 6'9", 6'10", what do you think happens to the paint?
It doesn't go very well.
Well, there's nowhere to go.
Yeah.
So you got to move. You got to change sides of the floor. You got to get guys moving into different areas to try and change the alignment. We failed in that area, but you're playing that defense. You got to be able to make some shots to try and stretch the defense, to open up driving lanes for someone, or to get them out of the defense because you're shooting them out of it. And we weren't able to do any of those things.
You mentioned minutes. Is the ultimate challenge coaching a team that you're so thin that you can't play the tempo style of pressing that you want to without wearing down late in games?
I mean, there's been a common theme with that in some of these games, late in the game, not having enough to close it, and some others we've been able to win close ones late. Both of the Bay games, early in Pac-12. But I think I need to force myself to try and trust the bench more and get fresh bodies on the floor a little more frequently. That's on me. That's the best guess that I could have as to why. And that's not going to. We came in here 12th in the Pac-12 at shooting threes. So you got to come in wondering if you're going to be able to make shots. But I think when physical exertion is impacting your defense late in the game where you can't step up and stop your opponent, then so that's why we gotta trust the bench a little more and try and find guys that can produce coming off the bench.
Zoe and Frankie are so good in your press. Do you feel like you're as capable at deploying that when those guys are off the court?
I think the one time that I like to do it when Sean Phillips is on the back of the line, because if there is a situation where the press gets broken, you have a guy that could go up and block shots. So even if Zoe and Frankie aren't in the game, I would still press if Sean is in the game. But that was really our the ace that we had in our hand was trying to press them and force turnovers. That was our only path tonight.
What do you need to see from the bench in order that makes that trust for you and them easier?
I mean, it's not only putting the ball in the basket. We got to play defense. You got to rebound. We got to we can't have a drop off in the quality of play. But Kamari hit a couple of shots, so I'm happy to see the ball go in for him. Maybe he gets more opportunity, and then just Sean had it going in that second half stretch until he got cut and had to go out. So weren't able to really get him back in the game late.
Coach, you kind of touched right now on Sean kind of exiting the game where things kind of got a little out of hand after he left. Did Sean leaving the game kind of have more of an impact than kind of what you felt before that?
We were able to get some high percentage shots with him getting touches, and he had a nice move in the post and scored, and then got a lob to him and he scored. So we were able to get it to a guy that has the type of physical tools around the basket to score in the paint and not rely strictly on perimeter shots.
With the high expectations you had for Kamari coming into the season, what do you feel like has sort of kept him from getting to that level where he can be a consistent contributor?
Yeah, I mean it's a tough role for him. I mean he's probably started every game as a high school player, and then even at Louisville, started a lot there, and he's a different role coming up the bench. It's an adjustment. He's been doing it now for a while, but he hit a couple shots tonight and it gave us a little boost. So hopefully he's starting to find something and we could count on him more.
Couple more.
Adam Miller has been struggling. He hit a couple shots early. It looked like maybe he was breaking out of that early in the game and then missed some late. What is your take on maybe how he came along tonight?
Yeah, I mean he was fine. To win these games though, we need the coaches got to do a better job. We got to manage the roster better to get the minutes distributed more equitably in some instances. We got to get the guys to play better against zone defense, and then the players themselves, like against these teams. And Stanford is a quality team. I mean they have quality wins this year. They're now 6-4 in the league, so they're in good position in the conference, and they got good players. They had two players, 21, 19, and 10, and 12, and 17. When you have guys that have those type of stat lines, you're in pretty good shape at the end. We got to try and find more balance, but then have more guys playing well in a game. We didn't have enough guys playing well tonight.
Is there anybody that you walked away from tonight saying they need maybe some more minutes in the next game?
It's going to just be game to game and seeing how guys perform when they get their opportunities. But yeah, Kamari will most likely get more opportunity on Saturday, and Sean and Key. I want to keep getting him reps to develop him, and Bryant, and then we'll see after that.
One more.
Last 7 minutes, 17-2 run. When you guys kind of get into that situation, what do you tell your guys to do, or the mindset that you have to kind of turn that around, I guess?
It's just tough because it's demoralizing when you're, when you get punished around the basket, and you play a certain way, and I'm not sure that we had ball pressure enough so they couldn't see these passes and they were able to throw it in, or they were just driving us and spinning and scoring, and Angel was doing that quite a bit, and then they were getting second chance points as we switched, and Renard, if they missed, was tipping it in. I mean they really just dominated us right around the basket, and we at the other end couldn't score, so it was that's why you see that type of run at the end.
All right, thanks, Coach.
Thank you.